Hey everybody, welcome to Big Feelings Parent Talks, the podcast where we break down our most recent episode of Big Feelings Little Friends. My name is Lewis and I play Mr. Ziggy.
And I'm Mike, but you might know me as Mr. Ollie. And yep, we really are licensed therapists and we're trying something new.
And I'm Chris, better known as Mr. Buddy. Hey, do you want to talk about adulting and how it can be a lot sometimes?
Yeah, because just like our little friends, grown-ups have big feelings too.
Absolutely. So let's explore what those are, why they matter, and how we can handle them. And let's do that together.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to Big Feelings Parent Talks. And we're just gonna roll right through with that. This is the first podcast of Big Feelings Parent Talks. My name is Lewis. I do play Mr. Ziggy. Thank you all so much for joining us here today. How you guys doing? Let's just chat. How you guys feeling? How we doing?
Feeling good. Feeling excited.
Yeah, feeling a little nervous to do something new here.
Yeah, you feeling nervous? It showed.
Yeah, I feel a little nervous to put ourselves on the podcast, you know.
Okay.
It's different when you play a character, but when you play yourself, it's no longer a make-believe.
It's like we're getting recorded on both sides of it, but still feeling nervous even doing something like this.
I think this one's just nervous because we don't know what we're doing. Like there isn't an awesome director or an awesome music producer here kind of just pressing the buttons.
Fair.
So, all right, so before we dive into today's big feeling, let's take a second to tell you a little bit more about who we are and why three therapists decided to make a kids show and a podcast. So Big Feelings, Little Friends, it really started because we kept seeing the same thing. Kids being told what to do, but no one really explaining what that feels like and what those feelings are. And we were also seeing that parents were trying their best, but also feeling alone when feelings would come up, especially with their children. I got my cue cards, ladies and gentlemen, cue cards. So Mike, let's start with you.
Yes.
What did you feel was missing for kids and families when we first started dreaming up of something like Big Feelings Little Friends?
So the conversations we had early on is that we actually all realized that it was missing what we had growing up. I'm kind of just like breaking that fourth wall, like some of the shows we grew up watching. Let's talk about The Big Comfy Couch, Blue's Clues, which is still around. Even like Bill Nye the Science Guy, Lizzie McGuire. And I feel like just kids aren't being seen in the same way. So I just felt like we should offer that opportunity, offer something like that. And the fact that kids are watching, not that we always condone it, but they have the iPads and they have the phones. So just having an even more personal kind of entryway into being part of a show, being part of something. I think that's what I felt like that they were missing.
Yeah. And Chris, you always say this isn't just a show, right? That's what we're trying to create. We're not just trying to create a show. It's something deeper. So what do you think kids really need from shows like Big Feelings, Little Friends?
That's a great question. I think just for two big reasons, honestly. And one of them falls under kind of what Mike was just saying too, in terms of not only just great entertainment. You know, growing up, we had all those great shows that we really depended on in a way. You know, that left a lasting impression. And I truly believe that, you know, our show has the potential to become that kind of meaningful memory for today's children. And second, just as important, they need a show that helps them, you know, to understand their feelings in a very new and different way. Big Feelings, Little Friends, it teaches kids that it's okay to have those really big emotions, you know, but even more importantly, I think it just shows them how to talk about those feelings and, you know, really work through them in a healthy way, you know, but also, I guess, learning how to ask and how to seek that support, you know, I think is very important. And I think we're trying to do that with this show, too.
I think, if I can, Lou, just to add into what Chris said, that was it. Therapist brain kicked in for us, right? We realized, what about the parents? I love that you brought up the parents there, Chris, because most of us, we, you know, whether we're already parents or soon to be parents, we weren't raised with like that kind of emotional language or tools either. So how can we expect parents to teach what they weren't taught? So I think that's exactly where this show kind of kicked in. Something to be easy to access, fun to watch, meaningful enough to stick. Just a space where kids and parents could grow educational and emotional intelligence together through music, through fun music, through puppets, therapy, based kind of play and connection. And that's what what was missing. And that's what I think we're trying to build here.
I agree. And I think like just even now that you mentioned that about parents, you know, I kind of wanted to turn a question back to you, Lou, just because, as we were saying, this show isn't just for kids. So it can be really, really beneficial for parents as well. So I guess my question more so is, how do you think Big Feelings, Little Friends can also support and impact parents?
That's a really good question. So I am, for those watching, I am a parent. I have two young boys the great boys that I have. And so really like the show, the inception of the show, the idea of the show came about when I was with my first son. We were really just watching some television together, relaxing. Not something that his mom really enjoys, but I enjoy watching TV. But it was really hard just to find something that was educational and also had a purpose, had a meaning. Luckily, the way that things are now, the great thing with streaming is you're able to find some of those shows that you really like connected to. So for me, I think this kind of a program for parents allows you to tap back into imagination, right? It's one thing that I haven't been afraid to do as a parent is kind of just be free with being a kid again and seeing a butterfly and getting excited, right?
Yeah.
Learning to count to 5 again. Those things, as simplistic as they are, it's awesome. I think these shows provide parents that opportunity to just, you're a kid. Be a kid with your kid, and it's all good. So I think that's it's powerful. I think there's a lot of good programming right now, but if you're not paying attention to it, there's a lot of programming that can really stifle the mind. So it's just being mindful, I think.
Yeah. And I think that's a great point. I think it's like the fundamentals in everything in life that we're going to do. And that can even come into being a child, learning about imagination and what are those fundamentals of like, hey, just have fun, for parents too, just have fun with your child, be a kid. It's okay to not be an adult all the time, especially when you're around your children.
I look like such a fool at my son's gym class that we go to.
Yeah.
For some odd reason, for men, it seems like it's really hard to look silly in public, right?
That's interesting.
At least that's the vibe that I got from these classes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I always saw that the dads wanted to roll around, they want to play, they want to act silly and goofy. But there's a whole bunch of other men around in the class as well. Not me, because usually when I would go to the class, it'd be right before we had to film an episode of Big Feelings, Little Friends. So I was already in Mr. Ziggy mode, and my wife would not stand next to me because I push it. Like I'm going to those classes. I'm trying to get onto the balance beam. Like, let's do this.
Boy.
I'm next. But that really is at the heart. Am I too loud? Don't be.
No, you sound great.
No,
you sound.
I'm also
You could be louder, honestly.
Could be louder. I don't know.
Can always be louder.
So let's talk a little bit about mission, right? Big Feelings, Little Friend. The mission here, we want every child, we feel that they deserve kindness, emotional growth, place for cultural pride, playful learning, inclusivity, integrity. Those are some of the things that we're looking for. The mission is to help young children recognize, understand, manage their emotions using playful storytelling, culturally rich music, and real therapeutic skills. And with this podcast, we're inviting parents onto this journey with us because emotional health isn't just something kids need, it's something we all need. So I hope that can kind of resonate, right? Emotional health isn't just something kids need, it's something that we all need. Now, a serious question for the group. Who do we think was more nervous? Benny starting daycare or us starting this new show?
I think I'm going to go, for me personally, I would say us or me starting the new show too. For myself, jumping into something completely out of my comfort zone. I think maybe for all of us out of our comfort zone but I think those nerves definitely went away knowing that. And once we started doing everything together and realizing like, hey, this is actually a lot of fun. But nerves were definitely there at first. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. Less as we continue to create episodes and record them, a little bit less. But unfamiliar territory for me is always dancing in public, right? So
I could attest
probably
to that.
Also singing. So having to do both on camera, knowing that it's going to go out there, that was always in the back, in the middle, and in the front of the brain.
Yeah.
But it's been fun.
It's been very fun, right?
Yeah.
With that part. I don't know if I was necessarily so nervous about starting the show.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, the interesting thing with this episode, it's that intensity of starting something new. And I think as people, when you feel that you're being called to do something new, that your heart is kind of just pushing you in a different direction, I think it's important to listen to that sometimes. Remember, I had a conversation with you, Mike, at one point, and I think you had said something like, you were talking to a client. We are licensed therapists. That is not a joke. We are 3 licensed therapists. But I remember at one point you had said that you had a meeting with someone, and it hit you that you're sitting here and you're preaching to people. Don't be scared to try something new, whether it's encouraging someone to go back to school if they've been thinking about it, encouraging someone to go and become a chef or an EMT, a firefighter, a nurse, starting their own business. We are really in the line of helping people find those passions and helping a way to define that. But I remember you had said, I keep telling people to do this, but I keep doing the same things. Nothing changes.
Encouraging people to try something new. When is the time that I do it myself? And then realizing how it actually does feel.
Yeah.
That's been the dual experience part of it.
Been fun though.
Fun. Now let me quote Fred Rogers for everybody really quick. We're going to move over. We're going to break this part. This part is for the kids. For the kids, ladies and gentlemen. For the children, okay?
Okay.
Starting something new is one of the bravest things a child can do. It's not just about walking into a new room, meeting new faces, or learning new rules. It's about stepping into the unknown and trusting that even if it feels scary, something good is waiting on the other side. So this is the part that Fred Rogers says. Often, when you think you're at the end of something, you're at the beginning of something else. And at Big Feelings, Little Friends, we believe that new beginnings aren't just big moments. They're opportunities to build courage, to practice hope, and to discover just how strong even the smallest hearts can be. Let's rewind really quick. It's just Fred Rogers quote. Often, when you think you're at the end of something, you're at the beginning of something else. So, at Big Feelings, Little Friends, we believe that new beginnings aren't just big moments. They're opportunities to build courage, practice hope, discover just how strong even the smallest hearts can be. Now, Mike, why do you think new beginnings hit kids so hard, even if they're excited?
That's a great question. Even if they're exciting. By the way, shout out to Fred Rogers. That was beautiful. It sounds like another possible idea for a tattoo. Okay, so, but I do, okay, I mean, just like us, right? Just like adults and people, we have different experiences, but especially with children, I think it's different for every child, right? Case in point, but at the core of it, it's about the uncertainty and the lack of just that long-term perspective. Think as adults, we can reason with ourselves and say, okay, this is temporarily, or this will get better. People can reassure us, all right, take a chill pill. But kids don't really have that same concept of time. So to them, a new day feels so long, and change can feel like forever. So even when they're excited, new beginnings can still feel scary, I think, because it just disrupts what they know too. Some kids look at new situations with a lot of what ifs, what can happen, and the truth is, they genuinely don't know, and they might be right. It's like that Jack in the Box. You just keep crank the handle, you know something's gonna come, but you don't know when. So that unpredictability can trigger some nerves, even when they're looking forward to it, like daycare, like Benny going to daycare. So I think that's where we come in as adults, as therapists, as teachers, counselors, parents, is kids are like sponges. And we got to remind ourselves of that. They watch how we handle change, right? And we call that modeling. If we show our nervousness, okay, we should, because that's part of life. That's normal. But if we avoid things as well, we're unknowingly teaching them how to respond that way. So controversial take here. If your kid's nervous all the time, there's a good chance they're picking it up from something in the environment, maybe even your own anxiety. So how do we help? I think we get really, really curious. I think we pay attention to the specific things that make your child nervous, and we inform people of that. We let them know, right? Make them aware. It's not their job to know your kid. It's your job to tell them about your kid and teach them. And we meet our kids with empathy. We validate their feelings, and then I think we encourage them to take that next brave step. And we remind them that trying something new can bring joy, even if it feels uncomfortable at first.
I think that's big, just piggybacking off what you were saying. I think even just children not maybe understanding that concept of like, okay, what is to come, it's scary, or maybe it's nerve-wracking, or maybe exciting, but until they're in it, and sometimes until they give that full chance of like, let me experience this, let me participate, and see what's actually happening, they won't know. Just like anybody else, even for adults, we all get nervous, scared, excited. But I think you're absolutely right, that concept of modeling, and us showing children like, hey, it's okay, it's okay to feel nervous. You're starting daycare, you're starting school, you're starting summer camp, oh, what if I don't make friends? That's okay. What can you do to make that better? What can you focus on to feel better about this new experience? And I think we're trying to target those different outlets and coping skills, with the show. So just exciting.
Yeah. I think what's really interesting about that, right? So my son gets excited, and sometimes he gets so excited that it might just hit him hard, right? And even if it's something that he's really looking forward to. So, in full transparency to anybody watching, this is being recorded July 6th. So, on the 4th of July, he was excited for fireworks because we had been prepping fireworks, right? We had been telling him what this is. For some odd reason, the area that I live celebrates July 3rd and July 2nd. So, it is nonstop. It's just... And I don't mind fireworks. I've never minded them until I've become a parent because it was not... If you've never seen them as a kid, all you're hearing is banging, right? That's all you hear is explosions outside. So then I think it's on us as parents to do a little bit of that educating there, right? So pulling up some videos the next day, showing them what the fireworks look like, right? Hey, this is the sounds that you heard. This is what we're seeing.
Right.
Eventually, the 4th of July came and we all tried to sit outside. It was too loud. So we sat inside right by the window. We had a great view. I was not afraid of them. So I'm bringing that up because sometimes when our kids look nervous to try something new, it's on us to be able to say, it's okay to feel nervous. It's okay to feel scared. Judgment-free zone whenever Big Feelings Parent Talks comes in, but we will try to be as honest as we can be through these conversations. You got to check yourself as a parent. You're going to get frustrated. Oh my God, there's nothing to be nervous about. Relax. Take a breath. Take a breath. Because as logical as it sounds to us, it's not logical to the child. So it's on us to kind of try to make that a good moment. Chris, how does this show, Big Feelings, Little Friends, help kids practice for new experience before they happen?
Well, when kids watch our show, they get to see different characters go through all different kinds of situations. Like starting school, visiting the doctor, making a new friend. And, by watching those stories unfold within the episodes, kids definitely can imagine themselves in similar situations in their own lives and learn how to handle them, how to practice. It's kind of like a practice run for real life. So we're giving them that opportunity to see maybe something that can potentially happen or maybe that they are going through. And we're trying to do that in a fun, energetic way, with songs, laughter, and even just support from us, the therapists, the friends on the show that kind of help and show them that, hey, like you said, it's okay to feel these big feelings, these big emotions, and kind of help prepare them as best as we can, just like a lot of the shows that we grew up with kind of help prepare us. And sometimes as we grew older, we look back and we're like, wow, like I never realized how much I took from a show, how much I learned from Mr. Rogers, from from Steve, from Blue's Clues, from so many different characters.
The show is so good. I'm rewatching it now. That show is so good. Blue's Clues.
Can't wait to
It's
go
so
back
weird to
and
say,
rewatch.
but it is. I think when you have a parent, you look at it a lot differently, and it's like the creators, the writers, the producers, the actors on that show. That was really just such a safe place to be a kid. They have a whole song about planets. I made Mike listen to them one day in the car because that's what you do as a parent. You think people want to listen to this kind of music. They don't.
He's trying to prepare me.
Yeah, Mike, did you want to add anything to that?
To what you both said, I think it's just, again, I'm gonna put the emphasis on it as well. Just why not restamp it? Let's check ourselves as parents and as adults, and let's just be as aware as we can and use each other in our partnerships and our relationships to say, hey, you know what? It's okay that you're upset today. I can tell that it's been a rough time. I've been helping out a lot. Why don't you take a few minutes and I'll tag in and I got this, right? Like it's okay to give each other that space and also like tag team like a wrestler. Just let me tag you in. I think it's important. We're in this together. I mean, Louis, you've used different words to describe your kids, and I heard different parents explain it, and it's just funny when I'm hearing kids being compared to just like stressful situations, because I'm sure that it is, and it's just like you got to make fun of the situation too. You got to be super on point with your team, with your partner.
Yeah. I handle parenting. I treat every day like it's a Broadway show. Every day I wake up, I know curtains are going up. As soon as the kids wake up, curtains up. And I don't say no. I say no, 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 no. Everything for me is a song and it's help. But let's do this really quick. I think every week, if we remember, someone comes up with it, they'll say free therapist tip, because I got one. I got a free therapist tip for people. One thing that I do in therapy sessions with parents and it's during specific times of the year. So before the new school year starts, if the family's going through a big transition, if they're starting summer camp, a new job, anything like that is something that goes right with that theme of modeling. I will ask parents to do that with their child leading up to the big day. So I'll tell parents, for example, if you're starting school, you cannot wait till 2 days before to start this process of going back to school. It's a process for kids. So I tell parents 2 weeks before, wake up at the time, do a mock run. Hey, come on, so we work with a lot of kids from the city, right? So for us, it's about telling parents, hey, let's do a mock run. Let's get up early one day, show them how to take the train. How do we take the bus? Walk to the school, show them the block. Do a mock run, see how long it takes you, right? It kind of, the best way to help someone feel safe and secure is through predictability, and predictability comes through routines. So that's what I would tell parents, is model that kind of behavior. Free therapist tip. Okay. Oh, no. One an episode.
Another tip.
One a segment.
He's getting excited over there.
All right, let's move on. So now, nervousness isn't something to avoid, it's something to walk with. Wrote that down. I want to make sure I threw that in there, right? When we help our kids practice for change, we're giving them something even bigger than bravery. We're giving them belief in themselves. And at the end of the day, I think as parents, or as just not even a parent, just anybody that works with kids, I think our goal has to be to instill bravery in them and that belief that you can do this. It's kind of just like how we told Benny, right? Hey, I can do this now. So those kind of things that I think make a difference. All right, let's shift gears a little bit. Because grown-ups have their own big feelings about starting something new. And when we made this podcast, the big thing with this podcast was to make it parent-centric. Make it for the adults. The kids can have the episodes. This is our time. We're taking it back. This is our screen time now, kids. So let's shift gears. Someone once said, adulting, this is a very smart quote. Love this quote. Adulting is like folding a fitted sheet. No one really knows how to do it. We're all just winging it. I'll tell you right now, for me, a fitted sheet, especially like a queen, king-size fitted sheet, that's not folded.
So the ones with the corners, right, where you gotta like fit them in?
The one that goes on the mattress.
That's always been a difficult life challenge, I would say.
I'm sure someone knows how to fold it, but that's what
There's definitely a life hack. For that.
We might have to go to TikTok and check and find that, because that is just a wrestle. That's horrible.
Why, though? Because you know why? Why do you need to learn how to fold it? It works perfectly fine the way we've been doing it for years.
My wife jumbling it up?
Just jumbling it up.
She still can't do it, and she's done it 1,000 times.
But is it getting folded and put away?
No, it usually would just get left to the side.
No, not true.
No, that would be my doing.
Starting something new as an adult often feels exactly like that. And I don't care what anybody says. Folding a fitted sheet sucks.
Yeah,
it's like you got to find the corners. And then you think you got the corners, and then you realize, it's wrong because it's not a square, right? Right. It's a rectangle. Is that it? Is that what a fitted sheet is? So stupid. Why did I say?
Now we're getting into geometry, so I think that's above our pay grade.
All right, Mike. As adults, why do you think new beginnings are still so scary, even when we know they're supposed to be good for us?
Okay, so that one still hit home. That sheet scenario.
You can talk about the sheets some more.
Honestly, okay, laying down on a freshly made bed with the sheets correctly done, right? That's vacation. That's hotel status. But that is one of my favorite feelings. Just great sleep is coming.
Do you make your bed in the morning?
I try.
I don't like how you started.
It's between
That's
me
a yes
and my
or
wife.
no answer.
There's a pause.
Because it's not all me. Remember, everyone, expectations and partnerships, right? So we help each other on this one.
My wife's not
one
home.
person doesn't do it, the other one. Somehow, every morning, that thing is, I check in, and it's done. I don't know who did it, but it's great. Thank you, wife. Thank you, Allie.
The elves.
Chris, do you make your bed?
Yes.
Do you, or does your wife make your bed?
No, it's both, Okay. But for the most part, I mean, I'll do my side. Sometimes she'll do her side. It just varies.
So you'll make your bed, your side, when your wife's still in it? Is that what you say?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about
one
you?
One side is clean.
We're generally up at like the same time, me and my wife. So, I'm generally up earlier. Why am I saying that? I love to get up before everybody. No, usually one of us will make the bed. During the school year, because she's the teacher, it usually falls on me. During the summer, it should fall on her. So I'll keep you posted. All right, Mike, so back to
why maybe for adults, why we still feel like new beginnings can be so scary. Because they're terrifying, right? Even if we're expecting something fun, they can still feel terrifying. It's okay. Whether you're a kid or adult, it's okay to feel that way. So I think starting something like a new job, a new hobby, learning a new language, trying to live a healthier lifestyle, trying to develop some new routines, it all sounds great, but it usually means more effort and more time. And who here feels like we have that, right? It's a luxury these days. So which are things that we struggle to find, but even if we know it's good for us, it's still scary to think about adding more to like an already full plate, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So sometimes it's about our perspective. I think saying I have to do this versus I get to do this, that mind shift can help, but it doesn't erase the fear. But for me, that can get me through the day. That can get me through a lot of the day where I'm just struggling to adult. So I think as an adult and even as a therapist, you think I'd be better prepared for changes, but the truth is, knowing what's coming doesn't make it any easier, and it won't take away the feeling that comes with it. Again, that's okay. So sometimes you're going through a big change, and like not even your partner might even fully understand what you're feeling either. So personally, as this podcast airs, whenever that might be in the timeline in the next month or so, my wife and I will be expecting our first child within a few months. And while we're both so excited, especially with this show coming out, thank you, audience. See, that actually helped with the nervous feelings, but it also made it a little bit more nervous. Man, so what a brand new beginning we have coming up. Super excited for it, and it's all good, but it's still scary. And again, that is okay. My expectation is that it's going to be scary, but it's still going to be okay. And we're going to figure this damn thing out. Lewis, as the only parent here, I want to just throw this back at you, that how can adults who are new to parent manage their expectations, we touched a little bit on that they have of themselves when starting something new?
Practiced this podcast before. We did. And it sounded terrible. So then we got new equipment to try to make it sound better. And I gave a different answer. But I recently have heard this new thing about parenting, and I love it. It is the best advice that you could give a new parent is no advice at all. No advice at all. It doesn't matter what advice we give. It doesn't matter what books you read. At the end of the day, you have to figure this thing out. Doesn't matter what anybody tells you. You have to go and you have to figure this thing out. It also, we saw something that said you can do your best to prepare, but prepare to be the most unprepared you've ever been in your life.
Perfect.
But it's a fun thing. I want to go back really quick, Mike, to
spreading wisdom
adults
here.
Feeling scared, right? When adults feel scared, I think one of the things that can happen. So you had spoken about these fun experiences, right? I think sometimes when we have to start something new that we don't want to start, that's where change is really hard. When you have to make a lifestyle change because the doctors have told you, yo, you need to change things or it's not going to go well for you, right? I think when we have to really care about our physical health and our mental health, when we need to start getting up early, when we need to start walking, when we need to start eating less of that Puerto Rican rice, even though I love my even though, those kind of changes are so hard for people and it's scary. So I've realized that for people, the minute that they get scared, for a lot of people, that's the turnaround, right? I'll knock on the door, I'm too scared, and I'm ditching. And I'm really trying to keep that in the forefront of my mind when it comes to parenting with my kids now, because my son will get scared often on doing things. And it's not that I push him, but that encouragement. Because I do believe that the more that we water that seed of courage, especially at a young age, it's just going to grow into bravery, right? And it's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for our kids to be brave in a world that can be scary. Chris, can you share a time that you started something new as an adult and how it stretched you emotionally?
I have the perfect experience. It comes to mind every time, someone asks me a question like that. And I would say it was the process of buying my home, my house. It was just so many different emotions and just feelings throughout that process. And I could tell you I felt everything in the book: nervous, scared, happy, excited, confused, just everything. And sometimes it all hit at once, which just became so overwhelming, and just needing to take a step back and kind of just manage how I was feeling in order to then just kind of keep pushing forward, because it is such a scary situation, but exciting at the same time. And I can say that all of that left as soon as I signed, my wife and I signed and completed everything. it was all gone at that point of like, okay, it's done. Now we can enjoy. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely a lot of there's definitely a lot of
what's breaking next. Okay.
Right. A lot of other
Now you just feel
stress that
waking up in
comes.
the morning. What's
Yes,
gonna break
but
today?
but I tell my wife all the time. I'm like, I just love being home. This is our safe space. This is where we come, where we can just stay and just be calm. For me, it's peace, and that's what I've taken so much from that, because I didn't know what was going to come out of that whole experience in that process. I don't know if you can somewhat prepare, but at the same time, it's like you can't always prepare because you don't know what's going to be thrown at you. And that's with anything in life. So I feel like that was definitely one thing that that really triggered a lot of different emotions that ended up being something great.
How'd you handle those emotions? Did you do anything? Let's talk therapy. What's up?
I definitely used supports, talking to people that have gone through those experiences. My parents, even though that their home buying experience was much, much different, so even using supports from even you, Lewis, kind of someone that was more recent, with that home buying process too, that kind of helped me understand, okay, what is it like nowadays compared to how it was back then? So it was very different, but that in itself too kind of helped, having people talk to me and tell me like, hey, things are going to be okay. You can do this. Don't listen or don't worry about all the outside noise, but also focus on what it is that you want to do with your wife and how you guys want to see this go. And that's what kind of just brought me from here all the way back down to here. So, that definitely helped a lot, just using supports and communicating.
Thank you for that therapist tip, Chris. Thank you.
There you go.
I think on that part, Mike, I'm just going to throw another one very quickly at you. Equally as important, other than supports, is that self-care piece. So you have any advice on people when they go through a stressful moment, whether it's home buying, home repairs, home renovations? Talk to people really quick. I'm going to time you. I'm going to give you 30 seconds at the end of this drum roll, and give people the public service announcement of a lifetime on self-care. I'll tell you when, right after the drum roll.
Public service announcement. Adults who work from home, get outside. Adults who go to the office, when you get home, go for a walk. Because going to work and from work does not count as going outside. That has been the biggest. I mean, we've all gone through the quarantine of COVID and now coming into just remote life. I work 100% remote. I love it. So many benefits. But sometimes between home repairs and just cleaning and maintenance and just work, I can get a couple of days. When was the last time I was outside? I'm sure we can all relate to that at some point. So get outside, go for walks, manage your self-care. You'll run into people, you'll have conversations, you'll get that exercise, you'll feel good. And just starting something, especially your morning like that, will lead you to make healthier decisions throughout the day. And you'll start to feel better about yourself, and you physically will get better too. Thank you.
Let's take a vote. Chris,
Hit me
over
with it.
or under 30 seconds?
I'm going to say over.
Okay.
I'm an optimist, so I know it was over. I was going for at least 40. I'm going to say that was 47 to 53.
47, 53? What do you want?
43.
43. A minute and 5 seconds. Here we go.
Oh, that's good. You have to ask for half the time you want. I'll meet you. Okay.
So now I'm going to end it with this part for this. This is a good reminder for us to say that feeling nervous about change, cue cards, feeling nervous about change doesn't mean something's wrong. It usually means you're about to grow. All right, before we go, it's time for big feelings, this or that, no thinking. Shout out your answers.
Here we go.
Big feelings, this or that, no thinking. First day at school or at a new job?
First day at school.
Okay.
Wait, what was the question?
First day at school or first day at a new job?
Are we feeling more nervous about this?
Yes.
Okay. First day of school, 100%.
Me with school.
Yeah.
Start a new hobby or move to a new city?
Oh my God, probably a new city. Oh my God, I would
Ask for help or figure it out alone?
ask for help, depending.
I'm quick to ask for help in the store. I have no shame. I can't find this. What aisle
Yes.
is it in?
Yeah, that's a great example.
Now this
Especially
is
in Home
just this
Depot,
or
there's
that.
so many lost men looking for things. Sorry.
This or that doesn't have to do with anything with feeling nervous. Adventure or routine?
Adventure.
I'm more routine.
Yeah, we all know.
Yeah, I'm routine. I'm like, tell me what's going on. If not, I'm anxious.
You want to go on a spontaneous 6-hour hike? Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, yeah. All right, forget your lunch, forget your phone.
Forget my lunch.
Probably, yeah.
Which one?
I'm not gonna lie.
Lunch?
Forget my lunch. Yeah, I'm gonna
forget
forget.
your
If I
lunch?
forget my phone, then it's
That
done.
sucks now.
I know,
But
I know,
I agree.
and I'm very aware of it.
But you know, we are from the generation that we didn't have a phone. Like, I was thinking about this the other day. We didn't. Like, what did people do when they rode the subway? Like, what did you do? What did
They
you
read
do?
a book, I guess. Like, what
What
were
did
they
you do
doing?
when you were on a bus? What did you do? Right? Like,
Thinking?
what did you think? All right.
Very telling.
Game
very
Boys,
telling of
Game
our
Boys.
age. Yeah.
Trying something scary or sticking with something safe?
To try something scary.
Things. I'm a safe person. I'm a safe person. I'll take chances every now and then, but I don't know.
First day butterflies or first day confidence? Which are you?
First day butterflies.
Butterflies? Yeah.
Yeah, butterflies.
And that was this or that. Fun little game. All right, cool. So now we're here at our goodbye right here at the end.
Still before 10, everyone. Before 10 a.m.
Here we go. Wow, friends, you did an amazing job today. You helped us break down some big feelings, and you helped us find ways to be a little braver when starting something new.
Hit it.
And thank you, adults. I don't have my cue cards. Might be off here. Thank you so
much.
much for also helping your little ones. But this time, it's thank you for helping you with your big feelings.
And remember, every new beginning is a chance to grow, even if it feels a little scary at first.
Awesome. So we'll see you next time on Big Feelings, Parent Talks. We can't wait to talk more about your big feelings. And hey, if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to click that follow or subscribe button, leave us a quick review, or share this with another parent or friend who is riding the waves of big feelings too. Thank you everyone for starting something new with us, and we hope you tune in again. It's gonna get better.
Already better.
Thanks, guys. All right. Bye, everybody.
Later, guys.
Bye.